Hello everybody, Danny Hafen once again here. This is game 3 of day 2 for the MSI play-in stage. I am not doing it live today. Had other duties and was not able to start when the broadcast started itself, but luckily I've been able to avoid all spoilers and will be seeing this for the first time and giving my analysis based off what I see as it comes forth. Supermassive has won one game so far this tournament, and Pentagram has lost one. So hopefully we'll be able to see Supermassive play a cleaner game than they did last win, and Pentagram, hopefully, they will be able to bounce back in their resilience and take a win here. If they do, they'll blow open this this group and make it so there's a high chance of ties and not having a perfect bracket for somebody in this play-in stage. So, Snowflower, this is twice now his Thresh has been banned. They're just not going to let him have it. Apparently he is too good on it. I have not gotten to see him play that much, but with 2 first-round bans of Thresh, I'll just have to assume he is the best. And it's fun when that happens. When somebody, if they see you and they know we have to ban that champ or we will lose, there's very few things that feel better than that as a player. And there's very few things a coach likes more than when you have a champ that's strong. Oh, apparently there is trouble in the picks and bans. We'll probably have to reload it. But what I was saying is, when you force the other team to have to target ban a champion or two because you're just that good on them, it frees up so many combinations in its place for your team. And it's nice. It's very nice, in fact. As long as you have 5 or 6 or 7 champs you're good on and strong on. If you only have 2 champs and they ban those 2 champs and then you're useless, people don't like that as much. That is currently my problem in Clash. I have a super strong Leona and Maokai support. But if those 2 are banned, the one game my team lost in Clash, both those champions were banned, I was forced to play on Nautilus, and I did fine. It was a decent Diamond 4 Nautilus play, but it wasn't Diamond 3, Diamond 2, Diamond 1 play on the Nautilus. And the other thing was, though I knew the laning phase just fine, I did not know the strengths and weaknesses of the super endgame late game on Nautilus. So that's something that these pro players do better than I, and something that we can try to aspire to if we want, if we enjoy that, is to get to where we know the laning phase, the mid game, the late game, all the nuances of each champion we like at each stage of the game, to give our coaches and our teams as many options as possible to win. Gambit Gaming yesterday had 3 different strategies and played them very effectively and won all their games. Very entertaining. But that's only possible because there's so many champions available to them with their pools and their skills. So, Snowflower, good on you for forcing that Thresh ban. Maybe if we get lucky, we'll get to see you play it. And you can show us all why it's so important to not let you have that champion. I don't know how much longer this is going to go on, but it shouldn't be too bad. Now, Pentagram, in their last game, got Xayah, and they went Xayah Alistar because the Rakan was first picked, and they didn't want to give the Rakan Xayah over, I suspect that we will see a Rakan first pick this game as well. And if Rakan is first picked, please, Pentagram, take Trundle. Don't let that champion go over again. He's too powerful. Supermassive banning the Swain. I like that. It's been a very popular red side pick because it can be flexed to top or mid quite effectively, allowing you to pick the strengths of your lanes. So GBM last game went the Vladimir. We might see that again. So Karma, Rakan, Trundle. Those are probably the three most contested picks right now that are available for first picking. And it is the Rakan. Okay. So I want to see Trundle here and Xayah, because you can't give Xayah over to Supermassive and give them that strong laning phase. So hopefully that happens. If not, I'll try to figure out what Pentagram is thinking is more valuable than denying the Trundle pick, because the Trundle denies, I mean, Kha'Zix is banned. Trundle denies Olaf, and it was the other first pickable champ that I mentioned, so I can understand a little going with the Karma, but it was not what I feel the meta of this tournament has shown to be effective. Alright, Supermassive has decided to go with Skarner. This to me says, Pentagram, you must pick Trundle as your next pick, or it will get banned out. And he is by far the best pick against the Skarner. And Fanfabulous, you're just that great. Your team trusts that you can do anything versus anyone, and they're just going to grab you that pick before it's banned out. And yes, he died a few times. He was out of position a few times. But he made the Camille Skarner work so hard to kill him every time, and he got trade kills, and his team was able to do other things with that, with the pressure he was forcing to come down on him. So they picked the Alistar, and I guess they have the chance for the Trundle. Oh, no, Supermassive. They say, no, you're not going to get that Trundle late game. Nope, well, as your next pick. So we have mid laners and AD carry that need to be banned, and for Supermassive and for Pentagram, they still need their top laner and their jungler. Because the top lane is going to be safe for the counter pick, I suspect that Supermassive will just continue to ban junglers and put Pentagram as far back as possible. Yep, there's the Olaf. So I was right there. So what jungler do they take? And now the one thing, there's Zac that has been seen. Oh, hey, here comes Zac. Yeah, Sejuani is too weak in the early game dueling right now, and was nerfed too many times in a row. You just can't go it anymore unless the other team went something really, really slow as well. So I'm going to stop talking about this pick and bans real fast and just speculate the progression of the tournament. I want to see a team bring in something like a Nidalee or a Gragas. Gragas got buffed. He's a bit stronger. He duels better than Zac or Sejuani early game, and his ultimate is game-changing. Now, I know some people don't want to see the return of the Gragas Always era, but I want people to at least be broad-minded enough to not think that their only options are Trundle, Kha'Zix, Olaf, or Skarner. And Nidalee was seen in the European Masters, and what I like about the Nidalee is how it strengthens your AD carry so effectively, and it's not a tank, so Trundle doesn't get to steal all its stats and become invincible because it stole your tank stats. I am really sad that Pentagram has decided to go with the Gnar. They saw Gangplank picked so early. They knew it was there. And yes, Gnar is a counter pick in some people's opinion. It's not a hard enough counter pick. And I just would have preferred to see something like a Riven. Man up, take him out, use the Riven, use the Camille, use the Aurelia. Gnar, people have played the Gnar Gangplank matchup too many times and know too well how to lose gracefully, if they even lose. Huni loved playing Gangplank into Gnar because he was so good at it, he would still win the early game. And Fabulous has showed himself already that he is a decent Gangplank player in this tournament on this patch. You gotta be willing to throw something stronger in. We've yet to see a Conqueror top laner. Maybe it's not the meta, but more likely, people have just not been willing to experiment enough with it to see if they can make and play around it to win lanes and win games from it. So, any starting items that are interesting? We have minion dematerializers on Karma, Rise, and Alistar. That makes sense on all those choices. We have the Corruption Potion for the Gangplank, for the Sustain. Yeah, Gangplank is following the example of Huni and others. I don't know who did it first. Huni's the one I saw first do it. So if somebody else did it first and gets upset at me for giving Huni the credit, I apologize. Grasp of the Undying with the Sustain from the Corruption Potion, and you don't parlay the minions. You parlay the enemy champion to get that health back, and you just don't get bullied out. Now, Past is running the Summon Ari, which is the strongest level 1 through 5 poke mastery rune that you can take to try to get a lead and make something happen. So I hope to see this Gangplank punished, because if it's not, and you're going to let them pick Gangplank before the second ban phase even happens and not have something to punish it with, you're going to suffer the rest of this tournament. And well, the play-in stage is only 2 days. Only 6 games for each of these teams. 6 of these 8 teams will be done, and they don't have much time to show it. Alright, I've been talking a lot about this Gangplank, and there's other champions in this game that are important and effective as well. This is one of the, might not be the first rise of the tournament, but is one of the few rises so far. Strong, mobile, semi-globals, just all-around decent champion, and he is running Summoner Spellbook as well, which will allow for diversity later on. So I like that pick, and I like that Summoner spell. So Pentagram, they try to use their level 2 power spike on Alistar and Zaya, and all in the Rakan Jhin. They committed summons and they failed. And that's going to hurt. Ooh, nice bait. And good job getting the flash out. Now you're just going to have to make sure to return in the next 5 minutes, or that will be a wasted effort. So Karma is trying to force the Rise to lose this CS because of his mana being gone. Push him in hard enough and effectively enough to make him be punished for taking this champ. And Rise is just trying to get to his 700 gold to buy tier. Sorry, I'm burping again. Ah. So Skarner is starting an early dragon. He is a champion who can do this very effectively because of his pillar. It is for Air Drake, Cloud Drake, sorry. So not the most impressive and important dragon, but stronger than it used to be. And Skarner is one of those champions. Every ounce of movement speed makes his life easier to get his impale off. So I'll take it. And that was good decision making based off expected back timers for the Zac and the pressure that Jhin and Rakan are putting on Pentagram's bot lane. I'm not feeling as well as I'd like, and it makes me disappointed that I can't give you my best self this morning, but I am going to try my best to explain the choices being made in this game and what I hoped the choices they would make to have the smoothest victories or the most effective defenses possible. So Gangplank has bought a cloth armor and a sapphire crystal, and the purpose behind this is he doesn't want to be killed by the Anar, physical damage, and the sheen is one of the most important things to start making the money on Gangplank. I fully expect him to make those into ninja tabis before he finishes his Trinity Force, to give him the movement and armor needed to not get punished before his flash comes back up, or to not get punished even if he has his flash up. Karma, this game, is running, instead of the Luden's Echo, is going for the Seraph's Embrace. Because of the people they're playing against, Rise and Gangplank and Skarner and Rakan, they are slightly more towards the drawn-out long team fights than the single one-hit burst. And because Rise has such large shields he can produce on himself so freely and easily, a Karma who tries to just only have the strong one-hit burst every 10 seconds will only ever hit Rise shields. And so I appreciate going Seraph's Embrace and choosing that item to try to do better this matchup and win, unlike the last Karma that was played. Okay. Gangplank has successfully survived without dying even though his flash was down. And I feel that that was a missed opportunity from Pentagram. And it's going to cause some trouble. Fan Fabulous has showed his Gangplank is that strong enough to deal with that. So, ooh, ouch. Well done. Well done, Supermassive, to sneak the Skarner in there and punish the Karma. So, Supermassive has a Cloud Drake in 2 minutes they can try to get. There's a Rift Herald that people can trade for or try to get as well. And then it's just towers and kills that we need to work for in the next 5-6 minutes. So Jin has rushed Swiftness Boots, and that is actually quite popular for players in the higher elos throughout the nations to do, because when you run Swiftness Boots with your Fleet Footwork, you get to where you have your last shot and you walk up on them and they can't get away from you fast enough because you have the Swiftness Boots movement speed. So you get that shot, and then because of Jin's kit, and you get movement speed after you crit a shot, and he always crits his 4th shot, they can't try to chase you as you run away after making that shot. So it might not be as much AD as some other champs will bring to the table early game, but it is an effective trading pattern that opponents can't play against safely. So, I have to congratulate Pentagram because Alistar has completed his gold quest item before the 10-minute mark. It was there. He had wards. And that sometimes is quite difficult when you're getting pushed in and don't have lane priority. But they had good control, and now they have wards to make sure they don't get punished. The Rakan has yet to get all the poke needed on the Alistar and the Xayah to finish his warding. So for the next, till the next Rakan back, Pentagram has the vision advantage, has opportunity to see the gank coming or to cause the pick to happen. And with Zac being level 8 and having a lot of points in his jump, we might see... Oh, what happened? That must have been a misplay. Alistar was trying to knock him the other way, but wasn't able to walk around him. That's so sad. Heck, you should have just committed your flash if you needed to get around to knock him the other way. Rakan can't dash to a champion who's not close enough for them to dash to. Oh, there's the committed flash. Rakan is so dang slippery. So, because of the Flash and Ignite down from Alistar and the ult from Zac down, they feel comfortable doing this dance around the Baron and not the Baron, around the dragon, and taking that for themselves. And they do secure it. And there goes Zac. Dead as a flubbery thing dies. I need work on my exclamations. So, all sums down for Supermassive's bot lane and their jungler, making it difficult for them to dive the Xayah Alistar, who still has flash and heal. What I would actually like to see from Supermassive is the two of them rush top lane and get that tower, because there is no dragon to lose bot lane, and I think that they can make a sneaky play on the Gnar and get first tower there and rotate it into Rift Herald. Will that happen? I don't know. That's something that teams with superior macro play have done in the past to punish teams who are slow to the plate, slow to step up to the plate. Who has the superior late game scaling this game? Gangplank beats the Gnar. Zac beats the Skarner. Ryze beats the Karma. Xayah beats the Jhin. Alistar and Rakan are even. And even though I said X beats Y, none of those are huge outscalings, because each champ brings something unique and useful to their team. The Jhin Gangplank combo is something that was seen quite a bit last year, and I suspect that Supermassive know how to use it effectively. What they can do with their champions is Gangplank ults getting slows across the grouped team of Pentagram. Jhin will shoot and deal significant damage with that combo. Ryze will make it so there is the zoning effect of his ultimate. They don't know if the Skarner is going to come down through it. And this will push Pentagram off towers. It will push them off Barons and Dragons and other opportunities, and let them continue to grow their lead. So the next Drake is Ocean Drake. Not all that important since the laning phase is done and they're not seeming to stack that many. Good use of the Ryze ultimate to force the Gnar to turn into the river where he still was. And, ooh. Pentagram tried to make a play because they saw the Ryze top, thought they could have the numbers advantage, but he just TP'd down. And since his ultimate is not a damaging ultimate, it's not important for him to be able to put forth all his damage and bring all his deadliness to the table. I do not know what is going on with my throat. So, 17 minutes in, 3,500 gold lead for Supermassive, and they're winning the fights all around the table. So Jin has stayed by himself under his turret. Alistar's ping this, goes for it, but the Xayah is not there in time to do the damage. Skarner shows up, CC locks the Xayah, and then Rakan also gets there, and it just hurts. Hurts real bad. Alright. Significant sums that are up. Gangplank's flash, Skarner flash, and all the sums bot lane but Ignite for Supermassive. For Pentagram, they have 2 flashes. That's it. At this point, Pentagram, I don't see them winning unless Supermassive makes huge mistakes. But they are seeming to be coordinated in their attempts to take turrets, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. That was decently played by both teams. I had thought that this Rift Herald was going to get a charge half health on this second turret, but the way Zach played it, he was able to cause that Rift Herald to be basically dead and not lose his life for it. I'm just really sad still about this Gnar into Gangplank. They showed Gangplank so early. You had the last pick. You need to have something new, something in reserve to punish that Gangplank. Either a super aggressive jungler who can help make that happen, or you gotta take something stronger against the Gangplank than the Gnar. Too many games of that have been played this season, and people just know how to not die to the Gnar now. Even though it is a soft counter, it's not strong enough. Sorry. Just adjusting my setup here at home. Alright. At this point, Supermassive have a perfect game going. They took all the dragons, they took the Rift Herald, they have not lost a tower or a kill. Now, it'd be fun for them to perfect game Pentagram, but a part of me doesn't want them to make perfect gaming Pentagram their goal. I want them to win effectively and quickly, and if it means sacrificing Fanfabulous in a 1v3 to get a 23-minute Baron, I'm fine with that sacrifice. If it means Snowflower sacrificing himself to get a perfect 5-man ultimate, I'm fine with losing that kill to have a better team fight earlier to finish the game faster. Because even though you say one team or the other team has the superior late game scaling, the simple matter of the fact is, if a game goes to 50 minutes and you get a clean team fight and just play it right and kill the other team, doesn't matter how far behind you are, you will win the game with a clean team fight win, because the death timers are so long. So that's why I like to see a team like Supermassive, when going against another team, to focus more on winning, not on perfect gaming. Rise ulting into the back lane, just causing havoc. Oh, they had the damage. Very well done there. Are they going to run over and get that one too? Well, no snipe for you today, Jin. So here they are, breaking the base, having sacrificed Snowflower to do the tower dive. 23 minutes in, without a Baron, 10,000 gold up. What I can tell or say or hope from Supermassive for the rest of the tournament is for them to demonstrate the ability to win without Gangplank. If they show that, I will have more confidence in them. And it's not the Gangplank doing everything, it's the whole team. It's Rise doing stuff, Jin doing stuff. But there is a huge aspect of the mental game in League of Legends. And when you know that you've lost that top lane, even though you got the counter pick, and you don't have the superior scaling there, and you're going to have to deal with this person, when you are playing that mental game, it hurts. And it's difficult. And once again, 6 games. 6 games is all they get. So Pentagram is having to deal with the fact that we've already lost one, and we have that pick there that we don't want to fight mentally. And other teams would have suffered it too, to maybe not to the same extent. So that's what I want to see, is I want to see Supermassive be able to show that they can win games even when they don't have the mental advantage against their team opponents because they have that Gangplank pick on Fan-Fabulous. What I want to see from Pentagram the rest of this tournament. Okay, you keep going with the Karma mid. And you've lost with it twice, or theoretically you will lose this game as well. You choose Karma because you want to empower your AD carry to carry late game. And Yotorori Mayasi has not done that. Maybe you need to step up and be the carry. Or you need to get the jungler to camp you mid lane so the two of you can then rotate bot lane together. But you have to do that dive correctly, not like they did when they didn't have Karma and they tried to dive the Jhin by himself. So, I want to see a pick other than Karma. I want to see focus in ganking a lane repeatedly, whether it be mid or top or bot. You got to get one of those lanes ahead so that lane can then help every other lane. When you try to touch and support this lane, then touch and support that lane, but you don't get them anywhere ahead, you can't end up winning. At least they haven't showed themselves able to win in a drawn out long game where you have to try to lose the minimum. Yeah, so Gangplank Ultimate, the slows, you can't run away, Skarner speeding towards you with the assistance of the 2 air drakes, and you suffer. So is there any interesting items to point out here? Black Cleaver Frozen Mallet is one of the most classic 2 items from Gnar, so not really. The Sterix Gauge Trinity Force from Gangplank, it looks like everybody has learned and accepted that that is the best 2 item power spike for him. Skarner and Rakan both have Zeke's Harbinger, but as you see, they have it on the Gangplank and the Jin. So I'm okay with that because Gangplank has so much auto attack damage. That was about as nice as the fight as you could have possibly hoped for Pentagram. 3-man Gnar ultimate on the 3-man group. The Rakan's not there, the Rise is not there. And you had 4. You had Gnar, Zac, Alistar, Xayah, and you lose that fight still. But that's what happens when you're this far behind. Not just in items and gold, but in level. So at least they showed some life there as they said, this is the fight we have to take, or we're going to lose our whole base. But maybe they should have tried to make that fight happen before the Baron was taken somewhere else. Alright. Closing out nicely. Well done, Supermassive. You are 2-0. Just one more game for today. And I think you'll be able to pull it off. But we'll see what our opponents have for you. Thank you for watching, everyone. And I will continue to upload these. Hopefully tomorrow I will be able to do it live instead of having to be behind like I was in these. Leave any comments about how I can do better. Thank you, and bye.